3 matches in 2 hours. Was that a solid enough show for everyone watching tonight? For me, I have to say no. 3 matches, and in my opinion, all 3 matches were too short. They could have used all a little bit more time. But that was your SmackDown. Now, I am going to state this. Although there was only 3 matches, everything that happened tonight was to progress these storylines towards WrestleMania. So, on SmackDown, the road to WrestleMania is alive. But, was it another case of too much of one thing and not enough of another? And I have to say yes. There was way too much talking, way too many promos, not enough wrestling. Now, everything, like I said, everything that happened on the show was to progress the storylines and get the fans ready and amped up for WrestleMania. But I thought tonight's show felt a little bit flat. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot. I wasn't very interested in tonight's card. I was very interested in the Luke Harper AJ Styles match, and it looked like it was going to be a really good match. Very short. The 2 out of 3 falls count match with the women's division fell flat. It was too short. The first pinfall happened within minutes. The chairs match. I like gimmick matches and all, but this should have been just classified as a hardcore match. The stupid chairs matches that they've started doing at TLC and other pay-per-views, it's bullshit. It's not interesting. Let them use whatever they fucking please. Make it a hardcore match and just let the fans enjoy it. I do have to say they gave Apollo Crews some, time to actually show his skills. He actually gave a really good match, but too short. It could have used more time. The fans, they were alive. They were electric tonight, unlike on Raw. I can't remember where SmackDown was held tonight, but it was more electric, more entertaining than Raw was. I didn't catch all the promos. I was watching with the family, and every time there's a promo, they start yipping and yapping, and because they don't like it. It's too much, and I agree with them. It is too much, but I even had to step up and say, look, when you're watching your shows, do I go make a lot of noise? So I missed some of the promos, but really, does it really matter? I'm going to scooch up a little bit closer here. Like I said, tonight, SmackDown Live. And we open the show. Let me open up my notes here. We open the show with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon watching footage of last week's Battle Royal finish backstage. AJ Styles walks up and says that if you look at it from a better angle, he is the clear winner. Bryan said his match against Luke Harper is still on for tonight. AJ protested, not knowing Harper has joined them backstage. AJ started making stupid jokes about Harper, if he was actually clean. When was the last time he had a shower? When's the last time he had a clean change of clothes? Blah, blah, blah. And, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, they're laughing along, knowing that the big guy in Luke Harper is standing right behind AJ Styles. And finally, AJ Styles gets a sense that he is being watched from behind. And he turns around and he looks up at the big guy, and Luke Harper just looks down at him, and AJ just quietly exits stage left. And then Harper just kind of gets right up close to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon and just says, "Thank you," and he walks off. It was strange. Now I know this was to build up for WrestleMania. They're going to have the John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Maurice and The Miz, but please let the Miz TV bullshit just go. Let it disappear into nothingness. You know, I've never liked the shows. I've never enjoyed them. I think they're a waste of time. But that's me. Other people might like it. Like, The Miz can talk. The Miz can talk. But that's what it was tonight. There was a lot of talking, and after this segment, I just wanted it to be over. But it wasn't. There was so much more, like, promos after promos, and it was just too cluttered with it. Too much time wasted. But we have Miz and Maurice to come down to the ring and kick off this week's episode of Miz TV. As Miz is about to announce his guest, he was interrupted by John Cena. The Miz calls for Cena's mic to be cut, says that this was supposed to be a special episode and he has 10 years of frustration to get off his chest. The Miz says that Cena is jealous of him, and he's a hypocrite for railing on The Rock for going to Hollywood, and now Cena is doing the same things. You know, we've heard this all before. It's been done by so many different wrestlers. You know, AJ Styles. The Miz has even blasted John Cena with this before. Jericho has. You name it. You know, everyone's gone this angle with Cena before. And I want them to shut up already. I'm not a huge Cena fan. But you want to go on about how Cena's buried so many wrestlers. Well, maybe he has. I was listening to a Chris Jericho podcast the other night. And he said this to Edge. And they both agreed. You have to be a bit of a dick to get into this business and succeed. So if you're not going to be a dick, you're going to be Mr. Nice Guy the whole time you're running in the WWE, you are going to just fall flat. You're going to plateau, and that's where you're going to stay. You have to step on some hands, some feet, some heads to get ahead in any business you're in. I don't give a shit what you're doing. You have to step on toes. So for people to keep on claiming Cena's been burying people left and right, well, look how many times he's put people over. He put AJ Styles over. He's put over Kevin Owens. He's put over a shitload of guys. And this storyline that they keep on bringing up, it needs to die. Cena says that Miz has just stolen gimmicks and moves to get ahead. You know, he stole Jericho's gimmick. He's stolen Ric Flair's figure four. He's stolen Daniel Bryan's gimmick and attitude and moves and the yes chant. You know, anyone's a hypocrite. Miz is the one to talk. And is just a dude dressed up as another dude playing another dude. And I kind of have to agree. You know, the Miz steps into so many different roles. It's hard to figure out who he really is. You know, it's and I've thought this for a while now. John Cena doesn't need to say anything like that for me to think that, because really, the name The Miz, you know, why not go by Mike Mizanin? You know, it's your fucking name. Go with it. You know, actually have a clear-cut image of who you are. Not constantly, oh, I'm, you know, an A-lister. I'm a movie star, while you're just blasting Cena for being in the movies in Hollywood. And you're in the movies too. Not quite Hollywood, but you know what I'm saying. And Cena went on to leave after their back and forth. Maurice cuts him off and starts berating him. And she tells Cena that he's got a big ego So that means he's probably got a small dick. Not quite that verbiage, but, you know, you catch my gist. And then she asks him to respect this and slaps the taste out of John Cena's mouth. Well, John Cena turns around and says, that was the worst mistake in your life. And Nikki Bella comes running out. While, of course, Miz and Maurice run off. And Nikki Bella grabs the mic and says, if you're going to touch my man, I'm going to break you, you bitch. Perfect. End the segment. There's some kissing and hugging going on afterwards. You know, making the fans know that they are, you know, a couple. We get Becky Lynch versus Mickie James for our very first match. And it is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Like I said, a very short match. The very first pinfall came at the hands of Mickie James, which they're dubbing her finisher as the Mickey DT. It's a shitty fucking name. Mickey DT. Anyway, she picks up the first fall. And then Lynch comes back and gets the disarmor and wins the second fall. So we're in our third fall now. And of course, Alexa Bliss makes her way out. She distracts the referee when Becky Lynch is going for a pinfall. Using the distraction, Mickie tries to go after Becky, but ends up hitting Alexa off the apron. Mickie tries to recover by rolling up Becky, but she was able to counter and ultimately tap Mickie out with the disarm her for her second fall of the match. So, I'm sorry, the second pinfall, which was Becky Lynch's first pinfall, was a roll-up. Apologies. I fuck up. Happens. Do I give a shit? No. The match was kind of shit because it was so fucking short. And we end up with AJ Styles versus Luke Harper. Styles pins Harper. Like, it was a really good match. It was. Luke Harper showed his power. He showed that he's an agile motherfucker. He showed that he can do a lot of things smaller men can do. And it looked like he was going to win this match. You end up with Styles hitting him with the phenomenal forearm. And at the count of 3, Harper's legs on the rope. But ref supposedly doesn't see it. So AJ Styles wins the match. Well, as Styles is celebrating, we have Shane McMahon come down. His entrance music hits, makes his way out to the ring, and announces that Harper's leg was clearly on the rope. Therefore, this match will restart as if nothing has happened. Well, we get Styles getting in the face of Shane McMahon. And in my eyes, I was like, okay, so, you know, the rumors are true. You know, they're working towards an AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon for WrestleMania. Well, as AJ is getting in his face, Luke Harper comes up and he wants to give this kick to AJ's head. AJ moves out of the way, connects with Shane McMahon's face. Lays out Shane McMahon. And the fight goes back inside the ring. AJ Styles takes back control. He hits the springboard 450 splash and gets the 1-2-3, and you have AJ Styles versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match. It was just, in my opinion, very short, and it should have been clearly the main event. Instead, we got a chairs match for our main event and a little promo from Bray Wyatt. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's my opinion. It could have gone at least 30 minutes, and it could have given us a lot better match. Like, yes, it was a good match. It could have been a phenomenally good match. Or great match. Something that people would remember. Now, well, they're going to remember Harper didn't do bad. He, surprised some people. But, in the end, it was forgettable. Up next, we were supposed to have Dean Ambrose versus Curt Hawkins. But Ambrose hits Hawkins with dirty deeds before the bell even rings. And he grabs the mic, calls out Baron Corbin. Corbin appears on the Titantron. And he refuses to fight Dean tonight. And these guys have been going back and forth since Elimination Chamber and before Elimination Chamber. I would have rather have seen these guys get a hold of each other in the parking lot or something, Like Dean Ambrose, he's got his jokes. He's, Corbin did a nice promo as well. He is growing. He's getting better at it. He is near where he is supposed to be. And it's just time before we see him going up against the likes of the world champion, and being a world champion. We seen him at Elimination Chamber. It was where he belongs. He belongs in that main event echelon. But moving on, like I said, talk. So the chairs match. I applaud Apollo Crews for his skill and everything. I didn't want to see this match. Not in the main event. I already gave my view on the chairs match itself. The match ends with Crews catching his throat on a steel chair and a atomic drop like move on the backrest of the chair. Ziggler gives Crews the atomic drop on the chair and then pins for the win. I'm sorry, it's just, it wasn't a good match. It wasn't a bad match. We've seen Apollo Crews get some spotlight for a change. We've seen him perform. He did well. Was it a match worthy of a main event? No. Actually, none of the matches tonight were main event worthy. But they were saving time for Bray Wyatt. So, Bray Wyatt comes out for his invocation to the WWE Universe. He's joined by Randy Orton at the Wyatt family compound on the Titantron. Orton and Bray exchange spooky words. Then Randy explained this isn't his world, and he never was. He then said that Sister Abigail lies beneath his feet, and he's going to burn the spirit of Sister Abigail to death. Watch Bray die with her. He grabbed a gas can and started pouring gasoline all over Wyatt's spooky rocking chair shed, while shouting that he's coming for Bray and his title at WrestleMania. Back in the arena, Wyatt went apoplectic, then sank to the ground, rocking back and forth as the shed burned. That was your SmackDown Live review results. I have to say, I missed a lot of the segment with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at the end. We've got a storm brewing out here that causes havoc on our electricity, and so I didn't actually get to see all this. And I figured the way it was going, it was just going to be a lot more talking. So I missed this part. It was probably the best part of the show. We don't have Harper at this moment going to WrestleMania, but who knows, because Randy Orton is now claiming he is going to see Bray at WrestleMania. I will be watching this end part tomorrow again, hopefully. If I have to catch it on YouTube or wherever, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna fucking find out how it happened, how it went down. Maybe I give a little bit better review on this last segment. I do have to commend SmackDown though. SmackDown, they clearly are progressing their storylines towards WrestleMania. They're always going that extra step to make sure the fans know they're working for our attention. You have Raw with Fastlane coming up, and their go-home show was complete and utter shit. I'm always hoping to see something good on Raw. Raw used to be the #1 brand. That's where everything went down. SmackDown was taped, and it was kind of just recapping everything that happened. You know, it was nothing much. Now we have SmackDown drawing all the interest, and we have Raw seemingly sinking down the tubes. I don't know what's going on with the business. And if you watch my other video today, we had the Hardy Boys and Drew Galloway not re-sign with TNA Impact Wrestling. So, who knows, we could see 3 new superstars join the ranks, maybe liven it up a little bit. Also, I've got news tomorrow of more wrestlers leaving Impact Wrestling, and see what else I can dig up. You have a good night. I will catch you tomorrow, and be well, bitches.